You know, you talk about in the article with ESPN about the fact that, you know, you're sitting up in prison, y'all are watching football, and you know, you see somebody run the Wildcat offense, and you're like, man, I did it. I started the Wildcat offense. You know, that's you.
Yeah.
You know, did you think that that would be more now? Because, and then before I get to that, I want to ask you, people didn't know, and I didn't even know this till I read it. You came out of shape.
Yeah.
Like 15 pounds overweight.
Right.
People say when you go to prison that, you know, how you come out? We thought you were going to come out rocked up, baby. You all been rocked. We thought you were going to come out diesel. What were you doing?
You know what, man? You know, just being complacent in the environment. You know, got lazy. You know, and you know, we didn't have the proper workout material. You know, and the proper weights and you know, the running surfaces that we needed.
Right.
You know, so I figured, you know, me being, you know, the athlete that I am, that I can come out and, you know, just pick up where I left off. And it wasn't until I jumped on the scale and until I came off of home confinement and tried to, you know, do some running that, you know, I realized that, you know, hold on, you know, something's a little different here. You know, I don't feel the same.
But you had no problem throwing the ball. They said when you went to your old high school field and you was chucking it 70 yards. No problem with the arm.
The arm will never go. You know, that'll be the last thing to go, and that might not go until I'm 50 years old. So I'll always be able to do that. But we all know, you know, an important part of my game is when I use my legs. And, you know, I think, you know, that's one thing God blessed me with that, you know, nobody in this league has ever been able to do and run and improvise the way I've been able to. So, you know, that was the most important thing. And like I said, I got lazy, you know, and I got it back now. I'm ready to go.
So when you got out and you realized you had gained the weight, and when you went through your usual methods of if you have to drop a pound or two, and it didn't come off as easy as it had in the past, did you ever get worried like, man, maybe you know, because I'm sure ESPN, the blogs, they're going to say the first thing, you take 2 years off, you're going to lose a step.
Right, right. You know, and that's the perception when you just take that much time off. I can't recall any player, you know, taking 2 years off and coming back in football.
Right.
And, you know, maybe I'm the first one to do it. And, you know, I came back. I knew it was going to be hard to lose the weight. It was hard to get the weight off. But that's because, you know, I wasn't doing anything to get it off.
Right.
And, you know, once I just, you know, finally buckled down and say, listen, I'm going to discipline myself. I'm going to make sure that this is what I'm going to do. You know, not try to do nothing different or innovative. Just, you know, do it the right way, eat the right foods, you know, get the extra running in the morning. You know, it started to come off and I started to feel quicker and faster again. But, you know, it was tough because I got used to just, you know, sitting on my butt every day and not doing anything.
So do you feel like you are at the same physical condition you were when you went in now?
No, I still feel like I'm getting back, you know, because, you know, if you look at it, I've only been in the Eagles camp, you know, for 3 months.
Right.
And, you know, that's equivalent to, you know, an off-season workout and being in OTAs or, you know, working out, you know, off-season workouts for 3 months, you know, and that's without doing anything prior.
Right.
You know, so, you know, it's been hard, you know, but at the same time, you know, I feel good. I don't feel like my old self, but, you know, I feel like, you know, with a complete off-season of training, you know, and doing all the workouts that I want to do, and, you know, the different things that I do that I don't let people see, I'll be back and, you know, to 100% next year, if not the end of this year.
Michael Vick in the studio on the Ryan Cameron Show. It is a probably world exclusive. We've only heard it from him in sound bites and little clips, and for you to come on the show is, we really appreciate it. I wanted to ask you about your work ethic. You talked in the article about the fact that you have been blessed with some extraordinary gifts, but you were not a student of the game. You said, and people have talked about it in magazine articles and in the newspaper here, that you may have been the first one to leave, or the first one, you know, out of the building and the last one in the building because you depended on those gifts instead of studying film and learning about. I mean, do you regret that?
I regret it because I knew enough you know, I knew how to play the game, but I could have, you know, grew as a quarterback and learned more. You know, in this game, you know, you'll never know it all, and I heard that from Steve Young. So, you know, I figured, you know, going to the NFC Championship game and going to the playoffs in 2002, that, you know, I didn't need to do anything else. You know, I needed to learn the basics, you know the offense, and, you know, really didn't think I had to apply myself, you know, on an extreme level. I just thought, you know, everything would come and everything would happen naturally, and for the most part it did. I learned something here, learned something there, but never took the extra time to, you know, really, you know, study and perfect my craft. And, you know, now that I think about it, you know, it would have been scary if I did, and that's what I'm doing now. So now I try to pay more attention to detail, and, you know, I'm gonna come out like a rocket in the next year, you know, because, you know, I'm learning so much. You know, when I'm running the scout team, you know, I'm studying our defense and what they're doing, and different techniques on the defensive line, and knowing the coverages that, you know, they're playing on the back end, and you know, different linebacker blitzes, and, you know, things like that, things I never paid attention to. I always saw it, but, you know, really didn't care, you know, because I knew I had an outlet for my legs. And, you know, now that I'm learning all that, man, I just see myself getting better and better as a quarterback, and it's really going to be scary in the future.
Michael Vick in the studio, Ryan Cameron Show with People Station V103. We're talking about his return to football, his return to Atlanta. Any goosebumps at all, man? Just being, I mean, you were the king of the city, man. And you said in a quote the other day that it was still your city. How you feeling?
I mean, I still feel like this is my city. I mean, I love the city of Atlanta. I love the city of Atlanta like I love Virginia, and Virginia is my home. And, you know, this city will always hold a special place in my heart. I'm always going to spend time here, always going to be here, you know, when I have opportunity. And, you know, I developed so many relationships, got to know so many different people, and, you know, played for an organization that gave me an opportunity and drafted me #1. And, you know, they had great ownership, great people, and, you know, they cared about one another. So, you know, I fell in love with the city. I fell in love with the people. And, you know, I never wanted to leave. And it's going to hurt, you know, to go out there and be, you know, on the opposite side tomorrow. You know, I've always been on the home side, now with the opposition. And, you know, that's going to send chills through my body first coming out. And, you know, just looking across the field and seeing, you know, a lot of guys that I used to play with, and the sideline that I spend the majority of my time on.
When you walk out, because so many years you walked out of that tunnel, you got fireworks going, you got the team going crazy, they announced your name, you talked about the fact, would you like it to be coming to the game quickly and just get it over with, or is it like based on the situation?
I think it's just based on the situation. You know, I want to, you know, come out and you know, just enjoy the moment. You know, I don't want things to happen too fast, you know, because who knows when I get this opportunity to play here again. And, you know, I just want to come out, you know, survey this, you know, just look at the stadium and survey, look at my surroundings and see what's, you know, what's different, you know, what's changed, and, you know, and just see if it looked any different than what it looked when I was here. And, you know, I just, you know, it's almost like a surreal moment for me because, you know, I'm in a different role now, and I'm in a different position. You know, it would have been exciting if I was a starting QB and I was coming in, you know, but it's a bit different because I know my role and I know it's going to be limited, but, you know, I'm going to make the most of my opportunity.